afraid raising the dead ain't within my power.
Ladies and gentlemen, step right up. Don't be shy. Welcome to Stuff.
He doesn't know, no, he doesn't know.
Pumpkinhead. The story revolves around a father named Ed Harley, played by Lance Henriksen, who conjures a vengeful demon named Pumpkinhead with the help of a witch to avenge the death of his son Billy, who is accidentally murdered by a group of teenagers. You really feel that this man has lost his son and has no idea of how to handle the emotions he's experiencing, causing him to seek retribution against the teenagers who were involved. I found it interesting that the teenagers were actually characters we could empathize with, as they certainly weren't malicious people who intended to cause anyone any harm, which automatically sets the film apart from a lot of the revenge films within the horror genre, which are usually quite black and white. I felt quite conflicted watching the teenagers being murdered by Pumpkinhead, because it wasn't cold-blooded murder that killed Ed Hartley's child, it was their foolish and incompetent actions. At the end of the day, it was a complete and utter accident. I was very surprised and relieved when Ed Harley chose to go back on his decision and tried to save and protect the teenagers from the very beast he had unleashed on them in a moment of blind rage. This twist in the tale is part of what makes Pumpkinhead a bit more than your average B-movie, as the narrative of the film is really a fable. Stylistically, the film also looks like a really dark, grim fairy tale. One of my favourite scenes in the film is when Ed Harley goes to seek out the witch. The design of her cottage really looks like something out of Hansel and Gretel. As we go inside, we see her shrouded in shadow. The camera has this amber glow to it that emphasizes physically on the screen the type of deal that is about to take place. It really feels quite ethereal and extremely demonic. The practical effects in this film are definitely a highlight, as they always are when they're designed by Stan Winston. He had an immeasurable talent at making the most fantastical characters appear extremely real and grounded in reality. One of the best things about Pumpkinhead's design is that it changes as the film progresses. It starts to look more and more like Ed Harley towards the end of the film. I feel that this was done to emphasize the point that if we do anything in vengeance, our actions will make monsters of us all. Lastly, the only thing I feel that could have been done better perhaps were the death scenes, which on the whole felt quite average. With such an aesthetically interesting character as Pumpkinhead, it felt a bit of a letdown to see him do away with people in a way that wasn't particularly inspired. However, it's such a small aspect of the film that it doesn't affect my overall opinion on it at all. All in all, I'd give Pumpkinhead a 6.5 out of 10 and would definitely recommend it to anyone interested in seeing a really strong B-movie creature feature, especially one with a really good narrative and a really interesting message behind it. Thank you for listening. This has been Stuff. I am the Platypus.